research is vital. Research is what has given us the cures to diseases, and it's given us the technology that you're enjoying tweeting right now, and that we rely on for our daily lives. For the past several hundred years, research has been conducted primarily in universities or in conjunction with universities. And at those universities, it's been people who hold PhDs or PhD candidates who've been doing the research. The culture of research has become ingrained in the culture and structure of universities. At a university, pay rises, promotions, and tenure are given based on how much you can generate in research grants, how many papers you've had published, and how many times they've been cited. Accreditation agencies for universities actually use the number of papers published per faculty member as an indication of how good the faculty is and whether or not accreditation should be granted. The organizations that publish the university league tables put a lot of emphasis on the number of papers published and the number of times those papers have been cited to determine where the university should rank in the worldwide rankings. This is good because the research is encouraged by these things, and that research is vital to the future of humankind. But if you think about it, a university has two responsibilities. Yes, one of them is to conduct research, but the other is to educate the future generations. If all of the people going to university went with the intention of becoming PhD-level researchers, the current system would be fine. But alas, that is not the case. Most people who go to university never go further than a bachelor's degree. Of the minority that go on to achieve a master's degree, an even smaller percentage then go forward to a PhD. So the teaching that is needed is not teaching about how to do cutting-edge research. That's not what these people are going to be using. The teaching that is needed is teaching about how to take other people's research, interpret it, and apply it in the real world. Research and teaching are not the same thing. They're two different skill sets. If you think about researchers, they do most of their work in a solitary environment or with their intellectual peers, where a teacher does most of the work in a social setting with people who not only are not at the same level in knowledge of the subject, but probably don't even know the vocabulary. Research is about pushing the boundaries of human knowledge. Teaching is about interpreting research and simplifying it so that people who are not knowledgeable in the subject can become knowledgeable. Researchers publish their work in peer-reviewed journals, or they present it at conferences of people who are their peers, where they can assume a very high level of knowledge and they can use a very specific and precise vocabulary. Teachers, on the other hand, are presenting to classrooms of people who don't know the vocabulary and where no previous knowledge can be assumed. It's been said that researchers stand on the shoulders of giants because they base their research on research that has been done previously. Well, you know what? Teachers also stand on the shoulders of giants because teachers base their lessons on research that has been done previously. Researchers need to research. Teachers need to teach. This is not to say that researchers cannot be good teachers. There are examples of that. But because research and teaching are such different skill sets, the percentage of researchers who are excellent teachers is very small. Just like the percentage of people who have a passion for teaching being great researchers is very small. Researchers want to research. That's why they got a research degree. If they didn't want to do that, they would have gotten a teaching degree. Researchers also want to research because that is how they are rewarded. Edwards Deming said, "What doesn't get measured doesn't get done." Researchers are measured and rewarded based on the amount of research they do, the number of papers they publish, and the number of times those papers are cited. Notice that nowhere in that are researchers rewarded based on how well they teach. Researchers are going to do what leads to their rewards. That's why researchers should research and teachers should teach. One of the problems that I ran into in industry was what happened when we would have someone who was a great technician. They were very good at doing a technical job, and they were so good that to reward them, we'd promote them to be a manager. And then they would do poorly as a manager, and they wouldn't like their job. So what we had in essence done is traded a great technician for a very poor manager. Universities face the same challenge. When they take a good researcher out of the laboratory and put them in front of a classroom, you're losing the research that person could have done, and you're putting someone in front of a classroom who by both training and temperament is not the best person for the job. Similarly, when you take a great teacher and you make them get a research degree to advance, and you make them do research, you're trading someone who is a great teacher at educating the next generation and getting probably a mediocre researcher. Researchers need to research, teachers need to teach. So what's the solution for this? Well, it's actually very simple, and it's something that works for everybody. The first thing that we need to do is to create a terminal degree, a doctoral degree that is not research-based. I'm not talking about an Ed.D. An Ed.D. is simply a research degree in education. What I'm talking about is a THD, a doctorate in teaching. This is a degree that would be awarded to a candidate who is able to demonstrate the ability to study a subject and multiple topics within that subject, something like business, and then present that subject effectively, including the most current research on it, to master's level students under the guidance and observation of their doctoral supervisor. We have the THD. The second thing that we need to do is have THDs be given the teaching responsibility for the majority of bachelor's and master's degree classes. Let the researchers be in the laboratories doing the research they love and doing the things that benefit mankind. Let the THDs be in the classroom doing what they love and teaching the next generation. Then we need university administrators to agree to give raises, promotions, and tenure based on excellence in teaching to people who are on the THD track, just as they give raises, promotions, and tenure to researchers based on the excellence of their research. Finally, we need the school accreditation agencies and those who publish the league tables to take into consideration anonymous student satisfaction surveys and student learning outcomes, and to give this evidence of excellent teaching the same weight that they do to evidence of research when accrediting schools and finding rankings in the league tables. If we do this, then universities will truly be able to fulfill both of their responsibilities to society. You'll have great researchers doing more and better research because they've got the time in the laboratories, and you'll have great teachers teaching the next generation how to go out and apply that research. PhDs need to research, THDs need to teach. Thank you.